you know that I got into metaphysics, and of course, you're not going to get into that without getting into astrophysics, and getting into astrology and math and numbers, because that's the true language of the universe. Both of those things, astrology and so anyway, as I've gotten to learn what's going on here and kind of get my foot in the door of astrology, because that's something I've never fucked with, and I just don't know. I've not known anything about it. I kind of thought it was woo woo shit. Actually, I know now it's actually the truth. It's the science. It's what all ancient cultures lived by it. It was you can go by it. It's cyclical in nature. It's predictable. Things are predictable. Certain things happen at certain times. But I want to get back to the LionsGate portal. Not only is this a time for transformation for the good, a lot of the powers that be, the atomic bomb was dropped on August 8th. I didn't know if you knew that.
No.
LionsGate portal. 9/11 happened around this time. This same, because people go into a instinctually. They don't even know. Nobody, a lot of people, 99% of people have no idea why they act a certain way when the moon's full, and act a certain way when we go into Leo, when we go into, like, right now. And it all has to do with, like I said, astrophysics, astrology, cosmology. It also has to do with your biology. It has to do with, the electromagnetic field. It has to do with a lot of different things. But my point is right now, like, this is where, like, and it's what's so cool is the number 8, right there in the middle, that's the hyperboloid. That's where, like, that's the reverse geometry of the torus. That's where all chaos becomes still. It's like the eye of the hurricane. It's like a black hole. It's where nothing is, nothing happens, and all things are possible. And it's so cool right now. All the chaos comes to this, where it's being sucked in, and about the, it's called centipedal convergence and centroidal divergence as it comes out. And anyway, where we're at in this state, in this deal, there goes like, that's what's going to happen. That's what I was want to talk about. I go, well, and this so bad, because the powers that be are going to act some shit up, I think. And the people who go right, man, they're going to be in the light. I mean, it's just, they're not going to be able to even feel energy or be in that energy. Like right now, I've been low and I'm still in this high frequency, and the people around, they're going, that shit. I told him I was going to Florida. This dude, like, had a heart attack, telling me he was insistent, getting crazy on the phone. Don't go without the son, or all that. Don't you dare, the devil. I'm like, I'm going to Florida. I fucking live in that world. That shit you live in. He doesn't even want to know. What do you mean it's not your reality? It is too your reality. You know what I mean? This is real. This is going down. It is in your world, man. I understand. I keep trying to tell him, I understand. I understand. He's like, you understand what? You understand what? I said, I understand. Well, you're worked up. I understand you've been watching stuff, and there's other people on this other side. They got different. They think they know. Everybody thinks they know. Everybody thinks they know, and nobody knows shit. That's the bottom line. We all know that. So I'm not living that shit. I'm not living in the fucking chaos of unknowing and fear when there's no answers. There's no solution. There's no nothing. You know what I mean? Um, it's negative. It's fucked up. It's like, I just can't even go there. I can't even, now when it happens to me, if I get a disease, if I die, then, then I'd be caught up in it. So I'll deal with that shit gets here. Until then, I'm making sure that I control how happy I am. I control how scared I am. I control how, I'm going to control my mind, dude, because they will fucking control it for you. If you even give them an inch, they'll take a mile. So I don't, I just don't, I don't engage in it. I don't, and a sad thing is, see, this dude is extremely left. Corona killed him, white family killed him. He's extremely left, and he's time I talked to. He disowned friends that we've had for 30 years because they're not supporters. I'm killing that bitch next time I see him. Like, what is wrong? Why are you there? What is wrong with you? Man, he's just watching a different channel. Oh, he's caught up in that shit.
Well,
Shit.
that's
Turn
a
shit
lot.
off. Be caught up in shit.
Yeah, and that's a lot what you're saying.
It's so easy to
Either,
see.
yeah, yeah, people are either going to take that going to more positivity or go the other direction, you know, and
Exactly.
it
Right
makes
now,
it makes me think of
right now is
the
very
two worlds. We both paused and started talking. It makes me think of the love and the fear train. The Case's video, you know, and we talked about that on the video I did with Case. It's the love and the fear train where it's your reality is going to grow and you're either on the love side or on the fear side, and that I don't know. I think this portal, this LionsGate portal, is gonna push people either one way or the other. You know, it's gonna get you more into the positivity. You're gonna draw more into that fear, but the fear serves its purpose too, because that's what people need to awaken. If they are going to awaken, I mean, we do it and we learn through pain. Unfortunately, you can only learn two ways, really, is through pain or pleasure, and most of us learn the hard life lessons in the pain. So it's like you gotta experience that.
Also electromagnetic people. You know, we are light, we are magnetism, but what I want to say is because we were just saying, go ahead. I'll come back to it. I had a good thing right there. I had a good morsel. I'll figure it out.
Your video has been a little choppy too. But
is it?
Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. Anyway, so let's welcome back to Behind the Veil, everybody. We just kind of started talking and I hit record because, you know, if I don't, then we missed that whole intro to this video, which was pretty amazing. So welcome back to another episode. This is our third episode of the LionsGate portal. I can't believe it. It's amazing.
Yeah, 3 years.
It's amazing. 3 years, man.
So we must have started. That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
Man,
yeah. So we both started our channels in 2018, like towards the end. And then in 2019 was the first portal we did. And then in 2020, I was in California during the LionsGate portal. And then, hold on, didn't we? Oh, yeah, no. So the California was the first LionsGate. And then last year I was here, did the LionsGate. So this is the third one.
Dig it. Yeah, I thought I'd come up with that thought. I remember what I was thinking. You know, I was talking about how we're, oh, wow, these dudes are going to weed eat this area. Well, okay, shit. Okay. Can you hear it?
No.
Can you hear that?
No.
Okay. Anyway, what I was saying is like, you know, not only do food and consume and, you know, get the calories out of the food, we also feed off of energy. You know, like I was saying, we're these electric beings, if you will. And, you know, controls some of the way we act because of its magnetic pull. People have this effect on like magnetic pull. You're drawn to them. They, you know, your opinion changes. Things about you change because of that. But anyway, my point is, we feed off of fear. We feed off of love. We feed off energy. We feed. That's why these people have got this. They're so in the TV on they're addicted to something, to stimuli, to stimulate this energy. You know, it's got to just be. Oh, it turn into pieces to death or some kind of violence or fist fights, or, you know, they just get this. So they just an appetite. It doesn't matter if it's negative, it's positive. It's easy to lean negative and to go in that direction because that's all you. It seems like that's all you see. But there is light, and there is love, and there is a way to feed off of that. It doesn't seem like there's many teach to on, but there is love there. There is, a place to find it.
Absolutely.
You got to throw yourself in it,
Yeah. And
feed off of
and mainstream isn't going to report on the love because they're too busy with the fear. It's the fear train, and and yeah, it's getting pretty choppy.
Boom, we're back.
All right, let's try that again. Jonesy had
Relocation. Bones had to relocate.
yeah, had to relocate. He's being followed by some landscapers.
They're coming again. Fucking hilarious. I love it.
That's great. I forgot what we were talking about. Whatever. LionsGate portal, baby.
No, we was talking about we was talking about the love and the fear train, and I was talking a little bit about how we feed off of. Is my audio any good?
Yeah.
Audio pretty good. Okay. How we're feeding and we're becoming addicted to feeding off of the fear or the love or the hate or whatever it is, these emotions, which is what separates us from everything else. But this insatiable appetite that we're starting to get for to me for fear, it's like the people are I've never seen people who want to be scared out of their lives so bad in my life. They like are throwing themselves under the bus, so to speak. And there comes a time where I told you my buddy was telling me not to go to Florida and get this. Well, to me, instead of not going to Florida and doing all that, why don't I wear a mask, stay 6 feet away, do all the, why don't I, make sure I'm not around somebody coughing over the feet? Why don't I just, instead of changing my life and not living my life and being stuck in my house, I'm just going to take a common sense approach to life. And if it's really something bad out there, I'm going to make sure I just stay back. I don't lick, a door handle. I don't grab a door handle. I don't wipe my face and my mouth. I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to stay 6 feet. I'm going to use common sense. The same shit I've been doing for years and years and years to keep from getting flus and other things of that nature. So, yeah, but to me, it's, this time, this just getting back to the LionsGate deal, and this is another thing too. See, Sirius and Sun are in a binary. They're both suns. Sirius is now what we call a star, but it's actually a sun. The ancient Egyptians knew this. And if you look at the way, if you can imagine when they come down around, they'll make this loop. But if you look at it from here like this, it looks like an 8. It looks like an 8. Okay, so right now, the pyramids are lined up with Orion's belt. We are lined up with Sirius, or not us, the sun is lined up with Sirius. That's what this date right here is about. Now, as we enter this new moon, creates all this new energy and all these new opportunities. But the thing is the powers that be know this. And like I was telling you, the bomb was dropped on the 8th. 9/11 happened around this time. Different things happen in this time of year where all this positive energy, all these transformations, these people try to make these moves, it gets sucked out. The energy gets sucked out of the atmosphere because we're feeding on this, right? They know we're feeding. I'm going to do a video about Monsters Inc. and how it is literally, it's absolutely what's going on right now. I don't know if you've ever watched it with your kids, but you come to find out, laughing blew the light bulbs out of the fucking place. You know what I mean? One little kid laughing, just boom, the energy. They lit up the city. The light bulbs are blowing, but they was feeding off the fear. They was lighting the city with the fear. They was using these monsters to scare. And every time a kid screamed, it created energy for the city to live on for the energy. Come to find out, it was all a bunch of bullshit. Laughter is where the real energy was. You know what I mean? So I want to kind of do a video about that because that's really exactly what the hell's going on right now. There's the energy, they're feeding off of the same energy we're feeding off of. If they can create the fear and we put that out there, it makes them stronger. They feed. It's almost like a lion stalking you, man. He runs you over here. He runs you over. The gazelle, you know, is confused. He doesn't know which way. And the lion knows where. The lion's just smooth coming. He knows what's happening. The gazelle don't know shit. He just terrorized, bumping into this, running into that, tripping over, trying to get the hell out of here. You know, so it's the same old shit with humans. Same shit, man. You got the predator and the prey, and all they're doing. It's not just the land and the money and things like that they want. You know, they're feeding off our energy. They're feeding off our energy, man. It's a
Mhm.
just like Monsters Inc. It's real shit, man. There's real energy. There's real energy vampires, and it's a real commodity. Um, it's a real commodity.
Yeah, and that
Energy.
in the astral too. I mean, as above, so below.
Yeah,
There's, you know,
yeah,
the beings feed off of your fear and they feed off of your love, you know. So
yeah.
when you're in the fear, you're attracting these thought forms or energies that are just attaching and latching onto that, and they're going to feed you more fear, trip you up, trigger you
Right.
more to get that other hit of fear, that energy that they're thriving on
Yeah.
it. And if you're in the fear and when you're going through those, especially like conspiracy theory stuff, it gives you like hits of dopamine because you're excited about it, but you're in
Yeah.
just digging in the fear. You're just digging it
Yeah.
out,
You feed
you
them.
know?
I used to do it. I done it years ago. You know, like I
Mhm.
think you guys talked about that Nubaru or Nibiru, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The Mayan calendar 2012. You know, I was all wrapped up, you know, prepping and but you know, that stuff when I'd watch those videos, it would give me you know, I'd watch the 9/11, the loose change stuff about 9/11, just give me this I don't know, man, just you know, I'd get up and want more. I wanted to know, and I was thinking I need to know. I got to know, you know, this is
Yeah.
shit I know, but it really wasn't that. It was I was feeding some kind of energy. It was an energy source, and I was actually feeding off of it. And you know, it seems like, well, you know, love and everything's so hard to find. It's the most simplest love and light and peace and calm and tranquility is the easiest thing there is, man. I mean, all you could just so easily. It's like I'm in underneath the shade tree right now, and I can step out into that light. I'm 3 feet from it, and I can take 3 steps towards it, and I will be in the fucking light. It's that easy. It's that easy. You have to literally step into it. You cannot stay in here, look over there and say, that's what I want. Now you have to step into it. And then once you're in it, you got to stay in it because you're going to get drugged back in the shadows. So and so's going to call, you know, the ex employee. Well, what? I thought he said he's going to hire me back, trying to drag you down in his fucking schmuck shit.
Hmm.
Then you got this ex girlfriend who's like, yeah, you said you were, you know, or whatever. Then you got that. So you're going to have people, your family, you know, trying to drag you back into the shade, drag you back into the shadow. You're not wearing a mask, you know, you ain't got the shot, you know, whatever. There's something, there's always something, somebody, somewhere trying to fuck with you, man. So, you know, stay in the light, just, you know, deuces to everybody, man. I don't know how I do it. I'm so lucky. I can talk to the most strong, all my friends are fucking radical right or left. I mean, so that they want a fist fight. And they're all still buddies with me, man. Because I don't fucking go there. I'm just like, dude, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't want to know what you're talking about. I'm sure you're
Yeah.
right. It works out in your world, and I'm sure you're completely right in your world. And I'm sure he's completely right in his world. I don't want to know nothing
Yeah.
about it. That ain't my world. That ain't I got a whole other thing going here. You call me a weirdo if you want to. You know, I'm
Yeah.
strange, weirdo,
Yeah. I'll
whatever.
take that all day long.
Yeah, yeah, baby. Because I'm
Uh,
happy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Simple cup of coffee. I'm just sit there. I can sit, dude. I can sit in a lawn chair, put my bare feet on the ground, have a cold Coke, and it's like winning a fucking lottery to me. It
Hmm.
is literally. I can make it that enjoyable. I can savor that moment. I was the other day. I came out of her store. I know this is gonna sound gay as hell, but I come out of her store, and there's all these. They planted these new rose bushes, right? And so I don't know what it is, but sometimes so I got to know what flowers are fragrant because I see pretty flowers and they don't even smell good. I'm like, man, that's a beautiful, but it don't smell good. And then you see flowers that aren't that pretty and they smell like lilac, you know, just, oh, so abundant. I love good smelling. I know that's gay. I don't care.
No,
But anyway,
man.
I'm over there literally smelling the roses, man. I caught myself after the third rose and I smelled a couple of lilies or whatever they was, these orange looking things. There was a dude, somebody over in the car, and I was like, I wonder if this dude sees me over here. I'm stopping to smell the roses. You know what I mean?
Literally,
Got something else to do. You
literally.
know?
That's great. That's fucking
Yeah,
great. I love that. Yeah,
I know.
and we should take more time to stop and smell the roses.
It's
Honestly,
actually more important than anything else, man.
it is. It's what this
Most
whole
important
thing's
thing.
about, man. It's the beauty. It's the
Yeah,
love. It's something that
yeah.
smells good, that looks good, that makes you feel good. You don't have to be a woman to appreciate flowers. I mean, it's a living, growing
If
plant.
it's God
That's
created
part of this
beauty,
life.
if,
It's beautiful.
man, yeah, if it's God created beauty, that's the high frequency stuff. That's you. That is what you want to be in, man. Everything else is a distraction, man-made bullshit, man. It's
Yeah.
all distractions. It's all control mechanisms. It's all, once you unplug, and it takes a minute to unplug because it's scary to unplug because you need money, you need this. And
Mhm.
I'm not saying just quit your jobs, whatever, but you have to start unplugging from ideas, prosperity conscious, brand consciousness. Uh, you have to back off all of these the marketing strategies they use on you. You have to back off of the idea that all these people have that you're supposed to be thin, tan, blonde, whatever they think you are. You have to back off, unplug from all that shit, man. You know what I mean? You are the fucking shit. Just always know that you're perfect. You're beautiful. Just you were born that way. The end. It wasn't until somebody started telling you, your shorts are too short. You don't wear that hat. That's not called. Boys don't play with dolls. Whatever you, whatever you was told and started telling you and creating this person that you really ain't, but you're trying to be. That they've been telling you this is who you are, and the whole time they're telling you you're Billy. You play with GI Joes. You're a boy. You're rough. You're tough. Some people don't feel that way. Some people feel a different way. You know what I mean?
Most
And
people, most people don't
yeah,
feel because when
people
you're a
don't feel
kid, you're so tapped into that energy of source. It's where you just came from. You're still learning and living, and unfortunately, we
like
pick up all those
your
beliefs
parents.
from the parents and your friends and society, and depending on where your parents are at in those years of your life, and no matter
Well,
where they're at, they could be the most awakened individuals, and you're still going to have some kind of trauma, whether it's from kids at school or people in public or your parents. You're doing something and you're about to run towards certain death, and they're like, "No, don't do it." And you're like, it's no matter what and how you live your childhood, you're gonna have some kind of trauma. But that's also how that creates you, and you root yourself into this experience, and you kind of gotta sever that connection to really root into this world. And then it's about rediscovering that connection later on in life, and it's really fascinating to me. But I think now more in this new
yes,
energy, the kids aren't going through as this extreme stuff like that you went through. I didn't go through as extreme stuff as you went through. My kids won't go through that extreme stuff that I went through, mostly because I broke the
right.
cycle from that stuff, and they're not going to experience that way. But they're going to have their own thing still, and it's about working through them. And really, if you give people the tools to process their emotions and feelings, it will really go a long way, in this
Well, I tell
experience.
you, human beings. This is one of the things that screws human beings up, and I'd say 80%, 90% of humans. Can you hear me? All right.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah,
Okay. I'd say 80 or 90% of humans. The reason they're screwed up is, and especially as far as parenting goes, is their parents were trying to tell them how they were raised, and that's how they're raising them. They're talking, they're talking about the 20s and 30s, some shit when they got a donkey in front of them, they're pulling a wagon, they're the whole other life, a whole other day. They walked barefoot 2 miles uphill both ways, blah blah blah, this that. They had a pale lunch. They lived rough. They lived through the depression. But they want to create these values, this stuff from back then. So they try to instill that on a now today person who's going to school, seeing a modern day, and they're trying to impose this will, this old time thoughts, this old time ways, these old time ways. So then the next parent comes up and he sees he didn't do so well. So he's going to try to bring dad's old bullshit to the fucking table. Now he's trying to impose that on this newer generation. So now you got people so fucked up because they don't know how to move into the new energy. Say, fuck this old shit. That's old stuff, man. I remember when me and my dad, this is a good analogy right here. We used to watch, we would, back in the years ago, there was construction going on everywhere in my city. And we used hammers and nails. And we seen these guys when they come out with the air nailers. We thought, well, we'll fucking smoke these. Sissies, you know. And them guys are there just banging, shaking for about a year or two, man. We're watching these guys, you know, they go do another roof and another roof. We're still in the same roof, banging hammers and nails, flat fingers get smashed with hammer, you know. Finally, we realized, man, it's time to move on. It's time to, we went through all that pain and suffering, trying to prove that the old way was the best way. And there ain't no new way. This is for sissies. No, dude, you got to move on. Times have changed. Once you get stuck in the past, that's why nobody can ever have Christmas. Everybody, this is another example of human beings and how we are. Everybody wants to try to bring to their kids, and they're so disappointed that they weren't excited like they were at Christmas. You know, and you spend a bunch of money, but they don't. And you think you were so excited, and you're like, you just trying to bring that magic, and you can't bring the magic you had at Christmas. Your parents had, and we're all trying to keep repeating this thing and trying to impose it on them and impose, you know. Well, by God, when I give, you know, I appreciate, you know, it's a new age. These kids don't give a shit about appreciation, giving us more than they want everything. You got want tablets, they want PlayStation 3s, Abercrombie, and you know, it's a new thing. It's a new way. Now, you can try to go back, but if you learn how to move into it and then manipulate things, I mean, you don't have to live and buy them an Apple computer and buy them, you know, everything that's high dollar, top end, top brand stuff. You can, you know, teach them. This is a good lesson for them to learn. This is a bunch of bullshit, all this high end, high dollar bullshit. It's marketing, you know, making you feel little, making you feel like you have to wear this. Because I remember when my kids, when it first started, they had to wear these certain name brands, and they was telling me, and I had to go buy these shirts that cost 30. It was a T-shirt, say Abercrombie or Holster or some kind of bullshit like that, whatever. And then my boy had to have these Marshall Falk tennis shoes that cost $80. I never bought a pair of t-shirts for $80. And he begged and begged, and, you know, football shoes. I went out and got them for him. Of course, he was popular because he was, you know, it's it's new. It's all new, you know, and it's you got to learn how to move into the new, man. If you get stuck in the old, you are going to be a depressed, sad person. It's
Yeah.
not coming back.
Yeah.
Especially now.
That's the perfect analogies too, especially with the roof, you know, because when the new shit comes out, people are like, you know, that's for sissies or that's whatever. Or that's not the way to do it. That'll never work. That's not going to happen. You're dumb for doing that. That you know, why change something that isn't broken? You know, not realizing that it's just an improvement on the old. It's because that's how we do it. It's like you're evolving in this life, whether it's the air gun or the nail gun, versus the hammer. It's your expanded consciousness versus your old way of thinking, and there's these new tools that we can utilize to have a better experience in this life. And when people find out about this, or if they ask you why you're happy or how are you at this, and you tell them some of the tools, they're like, that shit doesn't work. What's wrong with you? That's not right. That doesn't make sense. But you're living proof that it happened, and you're happy, and you're not getting pulled into the fears and the bullshit that they're, you know, whatever it is with their life. But
Yep.
it's the same thing. They're going to keep looking at it that way for years
So
until
you can look at the collective consciousness and the way we manipulate energy now as a whole or individually. You can look at that as the new age guns, the nail guns. You know, the old ways are gone. That old, it's a whole different thing. You can tap into this collective consciousness, this all knowingness, this the Akashic records, whatever you want to call it. Everything there is, you can tap into it. You can tap into love. You can tap into these things by simply setting down, taking and controlling this by making it be quiet. It's all you're doing. Treat your mind like a child. Tell it to sit there and shut up. Keep doing it till it finally shuts up. And then just let it sit there for 30 minutes and calm its ass down and set. And when you get into the habit of that, it'll come quicker and quicker and quicker. You'll be able to sit down and go straight into a meditative state within 30 seconds, a minute or so.
Yeah.
Right now, I've gotten out of it, so it takes me 2 minutes, 3 minutes to get in, maybe 4 minutes.
Well, and
When I
you don't
get back,
really, yeah, you
when
don't
I'm
really
doing it,
need 30 minutes. I believe 15 to 20 minutes a day
yeah,
is plenty. And
yeah,
if you meditate, I told someone this the other day, and it was so profound to them. I hope they actually start trying it. I was telling them, like, my meditations, I just clear my mind. I spend 15 minutes, and it may take me 10 minutes to get to 5 minutes of having a clear mind.
yeah.
But that 5 minutes of having a clear mind is more powerful than a million people that aren't awake, that aren't controlling their mind, that aren't
Oh,
controlling
yeah.
their thoughts. It's
You will hear. Yeah,
it's amazing. It's such a
yeah,
difference, and it'll balance your energy. It resets your body, and you are controlling that. You are doing it, and that just sets the tone for your whole day. So every morning, meditate for 15, 20 minutes. Quiet your mind. If you don't quiet your mind, don't beat yourself up. Don't stay longer. Just go and live your life. And the next morning, do it again, and then the next
yeah,
morning, do it again and again and again, and eventually you'll be able to get into that state pretty quickly. And then as soon as you, like, if you wake up and your mind starts racing, you'll recognize that and like, oh no, we're not thinking about this today. Because you automatically, your mind just will go into whatever programming it is, whether what happened yesterday, what you're going to do today. Like, no, let's focus on what's in front of me, what's here right now, and let's just settle into that. And it makes such a big difference in your life. It will truly change your fucking life.
yeah. It
Away.
not only from the disciplinary standpoint, to where you control. To me, just just being able to take control of your mind, you taking control, you taking everybody else is controlling. 30 miles an hour. Don't turn right on red. I got to be there at 8 o'clock, or they're gonna fire me. I got to wear this, suit and tie. That's what I got to do. This. I got to wear deodorant. Like, all these things I got to do. And it's because somebody else, because of this, because of that, because of I got to do. I got to. Yeah. What about you just saying, stop the fucking? I ain't doing shit. I'm taking control right now. Stop. Stop right here. Stop here. Me, this person, this human, and the person that's inside of me. That's
Yeah.
radio signal, like my higher self, taking control of this shit. I'm taking control. I'm not gonna go 30 miles an hour. I'm not gonna. I'm doing what I'm right now. Me, and doing that, the empowerment of being able to just take control in this day and age. That's why it's so hard for people. It's so hard for you to just set yourself down and say, because your phone is not whatever. Now, sit down, shut up, turn everything off, control it, control yourself, control yourself. You control yourself. Make yourself be under control of yourself. You know what I mean? I know that sounds kind of weird, but to me, I see it differently. Like control.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute you for a second and then unmute it. Yeah, that's exactly right. And controlling your mind, controlling, if you can, I think if anyone experienced 1 minute of silence in their mind, they would, it's like that awakening experience, when you have that moment of bliss where you're just like, oh my god, what was that? And then you spend all that time searching to get it back. It's almost that same feeling. It's when you feel that 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 beautiful feeling of a quieted mind. It's like you gotta get that back again. So if you can do it, if you spend 14 minutes to get 1 minute of a quieted mind, you will spend every single day going to find that quieted space, and you want it more, you
Yeah.
want it longer, and it's addictive, and it
Hey,
feels better than anything. It's amazing.
now I got another good analogy for that right there. You're out there, you know how the ocean's throwing you around. You got tanning lotion on, and you got your raft out there, and you can't get on this and you slide off this way, and you're fighting and fighting and fighting, right? Finally, you get your butt in this fucker, you get your legs swung around, you lay back, and you just float. and you feel these waves, man, and you are in it. You are like, finally, the sun's on you right here. You know, you're gonna get another wave comes and throws you about 45 seconds later. You're eating salt water, but you know, you just you get a taste of it. So you'll see dudes out there all day fighting with that raft, trying to get that 30 seconds of just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's great. In the light, too.
Yeah.
I love it. That's awesome. I truly, I mean, that was the first step I took, was meditating. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if I was doing it right. And you can't do it wrong, by the way. But I just knew if I committed to it and continued to do it, that it would have a lasting effect and it would change something in me. And it absolutely did.
Yeah, and what's cool is there's actually physics involved in that, man. It's called phase conjugation and phase conjugate mirroring. It's where after you do it so long, like, and you use mantras and you really go deep, deep into deep transcendental meditation, um, you, okay, the wavelength, okay, you know, a frequency has the center line is like the information line. Then you have the line that, you know, does the wave. And how frequent that wave is higher the frequency. The bigger the wave, the lower the frequency, which means there's less frequency in a certain area, right? Anyway, you can get that to collapse. You can, by certain deep meditation. There's a guy named Dan Winter, real deep dude, man. He's a physicist, and he studies the science of this, the actual physics and the metaphysics behind this. What meditation does. It's not some kooky bullshit. Your body is a biological electromagnetic machine. It actually will do things that you never thought possible, like astral travel, astral projection. These are real things. These things really happen. Telekinetics, telekinesis, um, telepathy, just all kinds of things that you can do by manipulating that energy and getting the frequency and your waves of your frequency inside of you. And it has to do with cerebral spinal fluid. It has to do with your breathing. It has to do with the way the plasma. It has to do with all kinds of different things. And that's why you see these guys still practicing it. They still set and Dude, they're reaching some shit that they ain't telling you about it. It's like the best crack. It's like the best heroin or the best whatever you can imagine. It's the real deal. They don't want. They ain't got time to talk about it. They're busy getting high on this shit, you know, because it's
and I think
there's science behind it.
Yeah. Now there is, and there's continuing to be more and more because they're continuing to study it because it's fascinating, and there's a physical response that your body has to these methods, to these practices, and they're proving that now. So it's like that's my favorite thing is the science that's proving the spirituality that I just knew was real for me, that I knew was true, and I just trusted because it felt right, and I just started doing it. And now I can find the science behind it to why and how it works.
Yes. It's the science, spirituality, they're crossing, just like physics and metaphysics. We're at a place now. It's undeniable. They all have to.
Right. That's what I was going to say. That's the only way you can be a skeptic is if you refuse to look at it. If you refuse to do the research or to just dig into it a little bit. Because if you did, you could find that where what I'm saying, because I don't like back and put out peer-reviewed papers for my science or my spiritual practices, but people do, and there's actually things there that you can, if you think it's not real, then it's your own ignorance for not looking into it.
Yes, exactly.
And in this age of this information age where we got everything in our fingertips, all the information you could possibly want in the world is right here. You're choosing to be ignorant. That's all there is to it, in my opinion.
Yes. Well, before we get off here, I just want to reiterate how important it is for people right now to I cannot express how it's going to be scary because people are really hanging on to this thing that we're going to go back to normal after everybody gets a shot and everything's going to go back to normal and their lives are going to go back to this or it's going to go back to that. You need to just
Let it go.
you don't have to worry about that and worry about is it going to, is it not going to, is it what you need to worry about is find a new thing, find a new future, start looking for the new and start focusing. Don't look back at that wishing, hoping. If it does, it does. If it don't, it don't. What you need to do though is very seriously project, think, put these images in your mind of this other kind of life. There is other lives out there. I know a lot of people think, oh, I'm stuck in this. I'm stuck. There's no way out. There's ways out. Maybe it's a little bit at a time. Maybe it's this, but you start cutting off this thing that's drowning you. You start cutting off that thing that's bringing you down. There's a lot of things you don't need. I'm telling you, we're minimalists, and I see people living with shit they don't need all day long. So uh, you can get yourself to a point where everything is simplified. It's easier. It's manageable, and your whole existence and future doesn't rest on the hope of it might go backwards to the way it was. Start figuring out how you can maybe live with less or live in a small or relocate
or just be
change your
happy
job to a
with
less
what you
stressful.
have. Just be
Yeah,
happy with what you have. You don't need to keep getting more shit.
mindset.
And
Yes.
I only get things if one, I need them, and two, if they bring me joy or make my life better. That's
Yes.
really the two things. If I need or it makes my life better. That's the only time I really spend money on shit
Yeah.
because I
Because
don't want to accumulate too much.
you can get caught up in spending money and the dopamine from that.
Right.
I've done that before. I remember when I first got Amazon Prime here, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, I was buying every little gadget. Man, I'd be on there, something for my microphone, something for my camera, something for fishing, something for, and I'm just, their packages coming every day, man. I'm addicted to this shit. I'm on
Mm-hmm.
it. You can get addicted to that. You know what I mean? I can see how it can happen. So, but I don't do that now. I'm simplified. Like you said, I'm kind of more grounded, and I know what I need and what I want. And, I've made a huge shift the last couple of years, man, especially this last year. I made a huge shift. But I don't know if you knew this. Did you know my dad died a couple weeks ago?
I didn't actually. Eddie told me about it. He said he saw it on your Facebook or something,
Yeah.
but I didn't know.
And then our dog, we put him down here about three. So me and Kim our lives have been on hold. Then before that, it was mom. We haven't been able to take off. Well, God willing, here in the next couple of weeks, we're getting the hell out of here, man. Hopefully, I can step my channel up and have some travel on it and have some shit on there and some good tidbits of stuff, So,
That'd be
uh,
awesome.
but I just want to say that my life is transformed already from just that. Just, you know, I'm free. I am so fucking free, man. It's so crazy. I just feel I can breathe. It's so crazy. So crazy. I haven't felt this way. I didn't even realize how big of a problem my dog was, but he was always a problem of trying to find somebody to get him for 2 or 3 weeks. And the last time we went last year, man, we had him on a chain. We took off, and then we called everybody and said, "Hey, the dog's on chain. Would you guys mind going over and take care of him?" It's already halfway to Florida before we even asked. Of course, we got enough grandkids and kids. We don't. Of course, they're going to, and my sister. So
Yeah,
but,
that's funny.
it's like now we don't have to worry about it, dude. Oh, it's such a feeling. So my life is making a transformation right now. I don't know about a lot of people, but I know mine is.
Yeah, I think most people are going through some kind of transformation of something. I mean, even this last week has kind of been a tough week for me at work, but nothing major. Just, all the people I had were just issues or problems or couldn't buy a car or just didn't have what they wanted or indecisive, needed something, just all the reasons you can think of
Yeah,
that they
things
were.
weren't alive.
Yeah, and it happens almost 1 week out of every single month. It happens, and this was the week for me. So It's been kind of fun because it was frustrating and it just kept happening and happening, and I'm resetting every time. I just walk away. All right, it's out of my control. There was literally nothing more I could do. I don't feel like I could have said something to change or shift or done anything or handled it differently. It's just I put all my energy into it that I could, and it didn't work out, and it is what it is, and move on to the next one. But it just kept happening and happening and happening. And at the end of the day, yesterday I talked to 6 people, sold 1 car, and I was like, all right, well, I'm glad that week's over now. I was like, I wasn't even mad. Usually I'd be mad because I didn't make no money on a Saturday, and that's the day you make money, and
Hey, that's a good point that you just made. I think maybe because my phone's about to go down, we could leave at this point. But um, it's extremely important, like I said, this love, this left and right, just making sure you're heading in the right direction right now, because things are going to which direction you go is going to ratchet up three, four. I mean, your fear is going to ratchet up, or your love is going to ratchet up too. But what I was wanting to say is, there's going to be a lot of people that are saying crazy shit to you. You have to reset, like you said. You have to just deflect it, just let it go, just say, oh man, I know what you're saying, you know what I mean, and walk away from that and act like the conversation never happened. Don't let none of that energy, fucking residue, get on you. None of it. I don't care if it's politics, religion, COVID, whatever it is. Don't let no residue of this other energy on you. You can't touch it. You can't get around it. You have to just constantly imagine yourself in a white bubble of light. Nothing can touch you. As soon as it starts to make you feel something, agitated, angry, excited, fearful, mad, whatever, put the white bubble of light around you. Walk away from it and start thinking you're happy. Go smell a rose. Go do something stupid. Throw a frisbee. Do a somersault. Do anything kooky, fun. Change the energy. Move on. But I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you right now, because I've been being, especially since Dad died. You know how sibling shit is. My shit went crazy. Oh God, you wouldn't believe. And I don't care. I mean, I'm getting death threats. You know what I mean? When I get a hammer shoved in my head or something. My crazy ass brother, he's all mad now. They're nuts. My family, it's crazy. And I don't care. I'm just like, man, that's terrible, man. You know what I mean? Fuck me, I'll kill you, motherfucker. I don't care. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? It's like, and that friend of mine, I was telling you about it, just everybody I talk to is just nuts. They're just losing it. You know how, like in the summer, it used to be, it would get real hot. Everybody gets so frustrated and mad. And whenever you see them, they're all sweaty and they're pissed off and they're mad and everything for being so hot, because it got real hot. It's been hot and it ain't raining for 2 weeks. It's like that. Everybody's agitated to no end, pissed to no end, opinionated to no end, on one side or the other to no end, and want to know they want to know what you think, man. They want a confrontation. They want to know, are you a part of me or against me?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why it's really important to, in that situation, if someone wants you to be on their side, don't do it, and don't be combative about it either. Just kind of choose that neutral path. Like I don't pick that side or the other side. I'm in my own lane. That's what I tell people. I'm in the happy life, and it has nothing to do with this or that.
I like to say this. I'll leave that to all you smart people. I can't figure it out. You guys are way smarter than me. Sounds like you got to figure it out. So you're good to go. I'll just be right back here in the dumb lane and not know anything. How about that?
Yeah. And life's so much better that way.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm glad we got to get together here. It's been a long time since we did an episode, but we couldn't miss the LionsGate portal. Thank you all for watching and staying with us throughout these video and audio challenges throughout this clip. Hopefully I can edit most of that stuff out to the best of my ability. We'll see how it goes. But thank you guys for being here. We love each and every one of you. It's good talking to you again, Bonesy. And yeah, be the change that you want to see in this world. And we love you. Huh?
Is this 35 or 38 or 36?
Oh, shoot. I don't even know.
Did you already turn it off?
No. Yeah. Let me do it. All right. Bye. Bye. Love you. Bye.